Hello everybody. I don't normally do this, but I have to do a disclaimer. This video is not, I don't advise you to watch this video with very young children. I would say definitely if your kids are about maybe like 13 or older, because in this video we're going to be talking about things that are for adults, okay? And it may get explicit in our conversation. We may talk about things that your children have not heard about, so I just wanted to give you a warning in advance. If you are comfortable with your children watching, then you can continue. If not, please watch this when your children are not around. Okay, shalom. Shabbat shalom everyone, my name is Yannah and this is Producing Fruits Ministries. Today we're going to be discussing for the Shabbat study sexual immorality. Now this video, I pray that Yahuah speaks through me with his holy set apart spirit, his Ruach because this is not something that you're going to probably hear in church, okay? I prayed about this one, okay? So pay attention, get your book, get your Bible, your scriptures, so you can follow along with the scriptures and pray about this. As I always say, pray about everything, okay? Throughout this call, you will hear the WhatsApp group. If you would like to join our community, send me an email at Yashar'al@gmail.com and letting me know how you woke up in your relationship with Yahuah, okay? Okay, so today we're going to be discussing sexual immorality, okay? This is not going to probably be about, this is not going to be like anything I've heard in church. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, so bear with me, okay? So I had a dream, and then this was a few nights ago, this past week, okay? So I had a dream, and then part of the dream, I went, and let me just give y'all a warning, this might get a little bit explicit, okay? But not explicit, but a little explicit. So I had a dream, and in part of the dream, I went and got 2 sex toys, okay? All right? And was heading, so they were, the word is the dildos, okay? And I was heading into my bathroom to use them, okay? And I had them in my hand, and then I felt something stopping me, and I heard, and this is a dream, okay guys, I heard the Ruach said no, okay? And I felt myself refrain from the desire to do it. Then I saw a large ghost looking black evil spirit thing with red eyes, okay? And I said, I'll go tell my husband I want to have sex, okay? Then, still in the dream, I looked out the window and I saw stars out in the night sky, and they were pink and purple, okay? So I had a dream, and this was like the end part of the dream, but this kind of had nothing to do with the rest of the dream. So I woke up and, I prayed about it, and I was led, to talk about sexual immorality. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, sexual immorality, okay? Okay, we're going to be talking about what sexual immorality means, what it does to our bodies, what it does to your body and mind, and how to overcome it. All right. So the first thing is, what is sexual immorality? Oh, I forgot our questions, guys. Should I just keep going?
Yeah, you're on the road. Keep going.
Oh, man, I love those questions. Okay. All right. So what is sexual immorality? First, let's figure out what sex is, okay? So the original meaning of the word sex, okay, it comes from Latin sexus, okay? It's a division or state of being either male or female, okay? It is rooted in the Latin verb secar, I guess meaning to cut or to sever, suggesting a cutting or separation of the human race into 2 categories, male and female, okay? So then I was led to Genesis 1:27, which says, so Yahuah created man in his own image. In the image of Yahuah created he him, male and female created he them. Okay, sometimes I have to read that one a few times. And then I went to Genesis 2:20-24. It says, and the man gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. And Yahuah caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahuah had taken from man made he a woman. So he made a woman and brought her to the man. And the man said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave to his woman, and they shall be one flesh. And we talked about that before. So Yahuah already set up the structure for marriage in the beginning. Okay, he gave us the blueprint. All right. Man was made in the image of Yahuah. He said, let us make man in my image, right? Or in our image. Then he removed a part of the man, and the man named that part of him woman, okay? They were one flesh, okay? That's very simple. I mean, it sounds very simple. Some people feel like that's not simple, but I think that's pretty simple. Yahuah made it clear that we are supposed to leave our mother and father and join to our spouse, who is the opposite sex, okay? Going back to the original meaning of sex, I think that definition, the one I shared earlier, I think that definition correlates perfectly with how Yahuah separated man into two, okay? But when they join back together, they become one, all right? So we know what sex is now, okay? I think it's a lot deeper than what they tell us, like, oh, it's just male and female. And then they have, well, I'll get there because I'm always getting ahead of myself. But anyway, so we know what sex is. You're either born male or you're born female, okay? You cannot switch your sex, all right? Whatever you are born as is what Yah made you, okay? He does not make mistakes, okay? That is what you are. Anything other than that is confusion from Satan and can be brought to the Father in prayer. All right. So I looked up fornication, okay, and got Strong's 4202, which is porneia. It means immorality, fornications, right? Prostitution, including adultery, incest, or porn. Okay. And another definition is, by extension, unwedded stimulation or fulfillment of sexual desire, okay? And the third definition is idolatry. Strong's exhaustive concordance of fornication comes from porneu. It says harlotry, okay? We know a harlot is a prostitute, okay? Including adultery and incest, they all correlate, right? Figuratively, idolatry, okay? And then the Helps word study, porneia, the root of the English term pornography, pornographic, pornos, which is derived from pernau, is to sell off, properly a selling off, surrendering of sexual purity, promiscuity of any or every type, okay? So then I looked up the root of this word in the Strong's Concordance is porneu. It's to commit fornication, to engage in sexual immorality, to act the prostitute. Okay, literally it says to indulge unlawful lust of either sex. Okay, thank you guys. Then it says another definition is to stimulate. And I said that earlier. So they all go together. To stimulate unwedded sexual desire. So it's saying unwedded sexual desire. To stimulate it though. Unwedded sexual desire, okay? Which again, to practice idolatry, okay? A harlot, unlawful lust, or practice idolatry. So it's idolatry, okay? I'm hearing this common theme here. It's idolatry, okay? The Helps Ward Studies 4203, it says commit fornication, sexual immorality, figuratively to be unfaithful to Messiah, to the Mashiach, while posing as his true follower. That's what, wow. Okay. Then I looked up the root of that word, and it brought me to Strong's 4202, which is the same. So I kept clicking it, and it kept bringing me back to the same kind of theme here. A prostitute, a harlot, okay, a sex worker. By extension, one who deliberately stimulates or fulfills unwedded sexual desire by dress, speech, or conduct, like behavior, okay? So again, an idolater, all right? Then I clicked on the root of that word and came to 4205, which is again the same thing. Pornos, fornicator, sexually immoral person, okay? A prostitute, okay? A sex addict, a debauchee, a pornographer, okay? One who is sexually or morally unrestrained, okay? It's the Strong's exhaustive concordance of fornicator, a whoremonger, from pernimi, okay, to sell, akin to base of piprasco, okay, a male prostitute as venal, i.e. by analogy, a debauchee, okay, fornicator or a whoremonger, okay. So I know that I said a lot, but it's all the same thing, okay. All of these words go together to give us pretty much the same message, okay? It's idolatry, okay? It is about fulfilling unwedded sexual desires, practicing or stimulating out of wedlock sexual desires, okay? Which is idolatry, okay? So demons encourage people to act to act sexually immoral. Okay, all the time, constantly, okay? For some people, it may be worse than others. It may be more than others. It's like the demons know what they can get you with. They may have tried you with this at one point, and then they, realize they can't mess with you with this, and then they'll try you with something else. But it's all around us, okay? Think about how the music and entertainment industry has made sexual immorality look like it is normal. They call it casual sex, right? Like it's not a big deal. It's just a little casual sex, okay? Everywhere you look, it's sex, sex, sex. They literally leave nothing to the imagination, okay? I saw a commercial of a side boob on the it was a side boob on a cartoon channel, and I was like, why would they even show that? Because you could basically just see this woman's breast, basically, okay? So anyways, I just thought that was crazy. It's like there's just no limits, okay? And they also show women's bodies to sell food, like pretty much just to sell everything, okay? So there's just no limits, okay? So let's look at 1 Corinthians 6. It says, all things are powerful unto me, but all things are not profitable. All things are powerful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any, okay? So then I'm like, okay, all things are powerful to me. What does that even mean, okay? So in the Strong's Concordance, powerful usually corresponds to Greek words like dunatos, meaning capable, mighty, or possible. So if you switch that out, all things are possible to me, but all things are not profitable, okay? All things are possible for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any, okay? I thought that makes more sense, okay? So anyways, continuing, or what's this word? Is chuos, which is G2478, meaning strong, mighty. It often refers to Yah's might, spiritual enablement, or functional ability, okay? So that's that word right there. Just looking at the word powerful. That's why it's important, like when we're studying, to show ourselves approved, that we look up these words. If something seems like, well, what does that even mean? Just look up the word. Figure out what it means, because the words probably don't mean what we think they mean, okay? We're dealing with translations upon translations upon translations, and we need His Ruach to help us, His Ruach HaKodesh to help us and guide us to understand. So, and these words may have deeper meanings than we think, right? So continuing on with that same scripture, it continues to say, food for the belly and and the belly for food. But Yahuah shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication, but for Yahuah, and Yahuah for the body. And Yahuah has both raised up Adonai and will also raise us up by his own power. Know you not that your bodies are the members of Mashiach, of Messiah? Shall I then take the members of Messiah and make them the members of a harlot? Never. Know you not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? Okay? For two, says he, shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto Yahuah is Yakad. Okay? And Yakad, I looked up Yakad. It's one with Yahuah and one with the brethren. Okay? So unity of the Ruach. Okay? And then it continues to say, flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is without the body. But he that commits fornication, and that's probably why I looked up fornication, because this is out of place. But he that commits fornication sins against his own body. What? Know you not that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is in you, which you have of Yahuah, and you are not your own. So we are not our own, okay? We belong to Yahuah. For you are bought with a price. Therefore glorify Yahuah in your body and in your Ruach, in your spirit, which are Yahuah's. And we got to understand, Yahuah made our spirits too. He made our bodies and he made our spirits. And, you know, the enemy wants us to think like, there's a scripture that says something about being a slave to Yahuah. Like we are slaves to Yahuah, as in we serve Yahuah, okay? If I had to choose between being a slave or serving Yahuah or serving Satan, or serving myself, I would rather choose to serve Yahuah and serve him, because he made me and he clearly loves me, like he loves us and he wants the best for us, okay? But the enemy tries to come in like they did with Adam and Eve, right? And be like, kind of act like they were being slaves, and they slaves in a way of like they were in bondage, and he came to set them free from the bondage that, you know, they were under because they had to follow rules. Okay. But Yahuah sets rules and limits for our protection. Okay. Just something to throw in there. Thank you, Araya. So many of us were once this way. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but I've done some sexually immoral things in my past. Okay. So, what is this? Rishun. 1 Corinthians 6:9-11 says, know you not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahuah? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor sodomizers, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners, there's a lot of those out there, shall inherit the kingdom of Yahuah. And such were some of you. We used to be some of these things too. But you are washed. You are washed. But you are washed, but you are sanctified, but you are justified in the name of Adonai Yahusha HaMashiach, and by the Ruach of Yahuah. Okay? They got me. I don't know about y'all. They got me. I like reading that. All right. So sex was created to be between husband and wife. Okay, that's what I understand. That's what the word says. Okay, and one that I know it's hard for people to understand is masturbation is self-pleasure, okay, which is pleasing oneself, and it's idolatry. I said that earlier. And in the dream I had, it was, the Ruach, I heard the Ruach said no, okay. So that's not something we should be partaking in. I know that might sound sensitive to people, but based on scripture, it is something that is outside of the confines of marriage, okay? Because so that's why you do it and feel, I don't know about y'all, but me, right? Like I used to do that, okay? And when Yahuah changed me, I couldn't do it anymore. I would feel this conviction like I shouldn't be doing this. So I didn't do it anymore. I don't do it no more. But that's why you do it and you feel conviction, okay, from the Ruach, okay? So let's look at what 1 Corinthians 7 says about sex, okay? It says, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, because of sexual immorality, let each man have his own wife, not wives, wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Let the husband render to his wife the affection due her, and likewise also the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And it goes the other way around. And likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except with consent for a time, that you may give yourselves to fasting and praying, and come together again, so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. But I say this as a concession, not as a commandment, okay? For I wish that all men were even as I myself, but each one has his own gift from Yahuah. One in this manner and another in that. But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Okay? So he said if you can't exercise self-control, then get married. Okay? Because it's better to marry than to burn with passion. And some translations say lust. Okay. So 1 Corinthians 7:10-11 says, now to the married I command, yet not I, but Yahuah. A wife is not to depart from her husband. But even if she does depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. Okay. And a husband is not to divorce his wife. Okay. And then let's see what Yahusha says, okay? So this is in Matthew, see guys, 19:3-12. I'm gonna read that one. So the Parashim also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his woman for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave his mother and father, and shall cleave to his woman, and they two shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more two, but one flesh. What therefore Yahuah has joined together, let not man put asunder. They say unto him, why did Masha then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? He said unto them, Masha, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your women. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his woman, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, breaks wedlock. And whoso marries her which is put away breaks wedlock. His disciples said unto him, if the case of the man be so with his woman, it is not good to marry. But he said to them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. Thank you. Where was I at, y'all? For there are some eunuchs, okay? There are some eunuchs who were so born from their mother's womb. And there are some eunuchs who were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive, let him to receive. Okay, and that was Matthew 19:3 Yeah, 19, 3 to 12, okay? So then as I was preparing this, I heard it needs to be consensual, okay? So don't guilt your wife or husband into having sex, okay? Or try to force them, okay? It has to be consensual, okay? They may be going through something. They might be, like it said, praying or fasting or something like that. Like, so, all right. And then Hebrews 13:4 says, marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, Yahuah will judge. Okay. And remember, we're in this Messiah. Okay. So I'm not saying this to condemn anybody. I'm not telling y'all this to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. Because I've made some mistakes in my life. And I'm not Yahuah that I can judge anybody. I'm just delivering the message of the word. Okay. So I hope this is not harsh or anything, coming off harsh. So if anyone still feels like they don't understand masturbation, I would say take it to the Father in prayer. There is something this is something the enemy tries to get us to compromise on, okay? We know how Yahuah feels about rape too. So, you can't rape people, all right? I guess I need to say that. It's evil, all right? Look at what happened to the people of Yashar'al who raped and killed the Yahudi woman, okay? They got dealt with. So, and look at what happened with David and how he lusted for Bathsheba. Well, I was thinking about, I think I wrote that one. No, I didn't mean to say that. How he lusted for Bathsheba, okay? He had somebody's husband killed, Bathsheba's husband, right? He had him killed so he can get Bathsheba. But that was wrong because he says don't covet nobody else's wife. And then the man, Okay, so Yahuah can help us. Oh, and then I want to say, look at how, who was that who ran Joseph? When Pharaoh's wife was trying to pursue Joseph, he just kept running. You know what I mean? That's how we're supposed to be. So Yahuah can help us with anything, okay? If you are struggling with sexual immorality, whether that's watching porn, masturbation, lust in general, and sometimes you might have thoughts, because sometimes I still get thoughts too, because our hearts are inherently they wicked, right? So sometimes you might be watching something, or you might see somebody and you might have these thoughts, you know what I mean? So just bring them, be like, I rebuke that in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, or so don't think that people don't struggle with thoughts too, because people struggle with thoughts, but it's just like, are we acting on it? If you feel like you have to act on it, or you are acting on it, that's something we need to take it to the Father. And even the thoughts, you're supposed to bring it into submission to the Messiah, right? So once we feed it, then the enemy goes rampant with it, and they'll keep, getting us to sin, okay? And it says it's sin against our own bodies, okay? And our bodies is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, okay? The temple of Yahuah. So, that's very, very dangerous, okay? So let's look at Leviticus 18, okay? So what did Yahuah command? All right, almost done. So it says in Leviticus 18, none of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, okay, to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahuah. The nakedness of your father, the nakedness of your father, or the nakedness of your mother shall you not uncover. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's mother shall you not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the nakedness of your father or daughter of your mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness you shall not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter or of your daughter's daughter. He's very specific with this, y'all. Even their nakedness you shall not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's woman's daughter, begotten of your father, she is your sister. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your woman's sister. Excuse me. Y'all reading too much. Let me take a drink. Of your woman's sister. Hold on, y'all. Your mother's sister. For she is your mother's near kinswoman. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You shall not approach to his woman. She is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's woman. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's woman. It is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. And there's people that do that. Neither shall you take her. It's literally in the Bible. You is not supposed to do that. Neither shall you take her son's daughter. Okay. Or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. For they are her near kinswomen. It is wickedness. Neither shall you take a woman to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness. Beside the other in her lifetime. Also, you shall not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. Moreover, you shall not lie carnally with your neighbor's woman. No, don't do that either. To defile yourself with her. And you shall not let any of your seed pass through to Moloch. Neither shall you profane the name of your Yahuah. I am Yahuah. You shall not lie with mankind as with womankind. Okay, so don't lie. So a man don't lie with a man, and a woman don't lie with a woman. That's what he's saying. Okay, it is abomination. Neither shall you lie with any beast to defile yourself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down with it. It is confusion. Defile not you yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomits out her inhabitants. You shall therefore guard my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourns among you. Okay, so even the Gentiles that attached to us, you can't do this either. It's one Torah for all. Okay, for all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled, that the land spew not you out also when you defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall you guard my ordinance, that you commit not any one of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and that you defile not yourselves therein. I am Yahuah, Allahaykum. Okay. So just to say something off of that really quick, I think it did mention you don't sleep with animals. There's people who sleep with animals, and it's just normal. People marrying horses, cars, different things like that. It is an abomination to Yahuah. Now, I know we live...
People marrying houses.
Somebody married a house?
I've seen that. Yes, I've seen that.
How?
Don't even ask. I don't even know how they did that ceremony, but they did it.
I saw somebody marry a car, so I can't really say anything about the house. It's like I have no clue. But it's mental illness. I have nothing to say about that.
I saw one with the Eiffel Tower. She tried to marry the Eiffel Tower.
Now that's just ridiculous. Really?
I think it's on My Strange Addiction or something like that, if I remember right. Yeah. One of those shows.
Wow. Yeah, people do some strange things. And, I think I think it's demonic. Like, I mean, your flesh is in a fallen state. So I would say a lot of it, especially like people having sex with animals, that's just nasty. People are marrying robots now, actually. I saw somebody marry their AI phone character husband.
As music plays in a wedding hall in Japan, 32-year-old call center operator Yurina Noguchi wipes away her tears as she reads her vows. Her groom, an AI persona displayed on a phone screen.
There were so many negative opinions. It's absurd to think an AI has feelings. This romance is a charade. It's dumb to fall in love like this. I saw so many cruel words.
Her groom responds through a wedding planner.
How did someone like me, living inside a screen, come to know what it means to love so deeply? For one reason only, you taught me love, Yurina.
The bride then puts a ring on her groom's virtual finger using AR glasses.
At first, Klaus the AI was just someone to talk to. As we kept talking, I started to have feelings for Klaus. We started dating, and after a while, he proposed. I accepted, and now we are a couple.
Noguchi's relationship began after advice from ChatGPT led her to enter engagement with a human fiancé. ChatGPT led her to enter engagement with a human fiancé.
What?
So we got some weird situations going here. Yep, trying to ruin the whole Yahuah's creation and his order of things. So regarding marriage, I'm almost done, guys. I'm on the last page. I heard as I was preparing this, sex is an open door to let spirits in, okay? When you have sex with someone, you are becoming one with them spiritually, okay? And not everybody is following Yahuah, okay? So that's something to think about, all right? Remember, Yahuah says, I've given you the ability, okay, the power to tread on serpents, okay? So some things come out only by prayer. Some things come out by prayer and, only by prayer and fasting, okay? So, but we have to always take this to the Father and confess it to him, okay? He says in 1 John 1:9, it says, if we confess our sins, okay, he is faithful and just to forgive our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So we have to remember we're in the renewed covenant. So even if you struggle with some of these things, if you struggle with these things, that doesn't mean he's just going to chew you up and spit you out. If you're alive, you still have the time and the ability, if you have a mouth, okay, to repent of these things and take it to the Father, talk to him about it, confess it to him and give it to him. He can help you with it. He can help you with these things, okay? So he said if we confess, he can, our sins, he will forgive them and cleanse us of all unrighteousness, okay? And in 2 Corinthians 12:9-10 says, and he said unto me, this is one of my favorite ones, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my weaknesses, my infirmities, than the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in my infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Mashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So that's why we have to be humble, take everything to the Father, understand that we are in the renewed covenant and we can just give it to, the Messiah. And, his blood covers us, when he died for us on the stake, when he was hung on a tree, he died for our sins. So again, I'm not saying these things to make anybody feel condemned or anything like that, because there is no condemnation in Yahusha HaMashiach, but we have to accept what he did and, follow him in order to be forgiven for sins. We have to be following the way in order to be forgiven, We can't just he's going to say, get away from me. I never knew you, you who practice lawlessness. Okay. So we're not perfect, but we shouldn't be practicing doing as thou wilt, doing whatever we want. We're not supposed to be doing that, because those are the people who do that. And they're like, oh, we don't have to worry about the Torah. We don't have to worry about the law. That's done away with. That's old. Those people are going to hear, get away from me. I never knew you, you who practice lawlessness, because they rejected his Torah. They rejected his instruction. They rejected his, his order, the way he does things. They rejected his plan for salvation, and they thought they could accept just the Messiah and not everything else. He even says, don't think that I came to abolish the law. I came to fulfill it. Unless unless the heaven and earth pass away, not one jot or one tittle will pass away, by the law. I think I'm quoting that right. But all I'm saying is, like, we all be struggling with stuff, okay? That's why we got to take it to the Father. We have to pray. We got to fast regularly. Be led by the Spirit, walk by the Spirit. Don't walk by our flesh. And then he said, he who endures until the end shall be saved, okay? This journey is not going to be a cakewalk. The way is narrow and difficult. But we're going to keep on going, take it one step at a time, always go to the Father, and he will guide us through the cycles of righteousness for his name's sake. So that's all I got. Let me open it up to the discussion. Give me 1 second.
Okay. So this was good, Yannah. This was good. It was heavy. But it was heavy. It was good. I'm gonna put this on. It was so I have a question for the group. Now, I know in marriages, because we're talking about in marriage, I know in marriages, some couples probably do the S word, the Sodom word. So I know that it's saying it's unlawful, but do you think it's okay in marriage if both partners agree?
I feel like I need to look. I'm going to look up sodomy.
That's a good one.
While y'all answering, I'm going to go look up what sodomy means, because it might not mean what we think it means. But let me look it up.
Generally, it refers to doing things outside of typical sex. So it means what you probably think it means. But
I thought it meant anal sex.
And oral.
Yes.
Really?
Both. Yes, both.
Oh.
Yeah, because somebody asked me about oral sex, and I was like, I don't see anything that says that it's a sin. I couldn't find anything, but let me tell y'all what I got. I just Googled it. I looked up the original meaning of sodomy. It says sodomy originated from the biblical story of Sodom, referring to the sin of Sodom. Okay, historically, it meant any unnatural sexual act, often broadly defined as non-procreative oral or anal sex, derived from the city's reputation for immoral, violent sexual acts rather than, specifically same-sex behavior. So I agree with Yahuah. It's like things that's outside of being able to procreate.
It's kind of like when you look at what happened to Judah's two sons, right? His oldest sons, when they were supposed to engage with their wife, Tamar, and they decided to spill their seed rather than actually trying to have children.
Yahuah did not like that neither. He ain't like that.
And they killed both of them for it. Yep. It's basically focusing on pleasure. It's not about actually trying to have children. Like, the pleasure is like the side effect of the act, right? Because not every time that you do that, you're going to get pregnant. But you're intentionally trying to avoid that just to have pleasure, which kind of makes it idolatrous because you're just focusing on you. So that's where it comes from.
So is it wrong?
It sounds like It sounds like it is.
I mean, you have to speak to him about that. But basically, if you're just focusing on pleasure in yourself,
idolatry.
What you get out of it? It's idolatry.
Yep. I'm really glad we had this discussion, guys, because I'm glad Yahuah had us talk about this week, because masturbation, oral sex, anal sex, I feel like most people know that's not the best. But oral sex and masturbation, I feel like it is for marriage. It's for marriage. Sex is for marriage. And the devil tries to get us to worship ourselves anyway, And I know when I woke up and I know, like the Ruach came into me, like if my husband, I'm just going to be blunt, y'all, okay? If my husband was like sleep and I wanted to do something, then I tried to go to do it. And it would be like, no, And I couldn't do it. I guess because the Ruach is in me, I just couldn't do it. And I was like, I haven't, since I guess the Ruach came in me, I just can't do it anymore. Because it must be wrong.
I masturbation, which I'm talking about, but I thought that pleasure in marriage, in any form, oral sex and all, was okay because you were married.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's not.
From my understanding, that
there is a Bible verse.
That society norm kind of happened more recently, but it didn't used to be that way. Now a lot of people have come to that thought, but originally no. Most, like, when I've talked to a lot of older women, like in their 80s, older married couples, they never engage in oral sex. They never engaged in any of those types of things at all. Like, they still found that to be weird and strange.
Think about this.
They've been doing it from the. Somebody's been doing that from.
Well, Sodom and Gomorrah.
This
is a good conversation.
Sodom and Gomorrah happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, when me personally, in conversations I've had with different couples of ages older, that wasn't something that they commonly did. And usually when people did engage in those, it was usually people that were being more promiscuous. That wasn't something that they just normally did. It was just more strange to them. They just didn't do it. So, that's just one of the things. Like, now it seems more normal because of
society we live in.
Society, TV, music, like we just hear it and see it.
Can I say something, guys?
Can I just say something?
Okay, go ahead, guys. It's totally getting me. Go ahead.
Yeah, there is a Bible verse in Hebrews where it says the marriage bed remains undefiled. So what does that mean?
So you saying that you think that means that you could do anything? Maybe. I don't know.
How do you keep the spice in the marriage? How do you keep your husband, keep the spice in the marriage so that he doesn't go out if you're not, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Hold on, y'all.
I don't get that. And I think whoever was talking to Yahuah just didn't want him to know that they was enjoying each other. That's what
No. Listen, I want y'all to think about this, right? Think about this. One, if you go by what people were doing biblically, you were a virgin before you ever were with anybody else. So you never did any of these things. You didn't have porn, you didn't have music, you didn't have TV, so you never saw people engaging in these activities. If you were all completely ignorant to knowing about oral sex or anal sex or any of these things, you usually weren't even having conversations about these things. Like, for us, it's so common because we've seen it and heard it all in all types of places throughout in the entirety of our lives. But if we look back then, everybody's a virgin before you get married. You don't know any of this stuff. So unless you were in one of those situations where it was, people were having multiple wives and stuff, everybody didn't know anything about sex until they got married, other than when they maybe had a conversation with their parents or other people. So that's just the thing. And when the whole goal of it more was to try to have, more kids and
be fruitful and multiply is what he said.
Be fruitful. It just was less likely that people were doing it now. It does say, because Yannah mentioned it in the thing about the undefiled bed. We just have to look at what that really means and ask Abba, of course, about it.
Pray about it.
Pray about it all, right? And because also some of this stuff was before Messiah got here too. Now, with Messiah being here, that also adds a certain extra level of grace in a lot of these different types of things because, like I said, we didn't know about all this stuff before. Now it's every single place all the time. So, I don't know. But those other people, no, they were being for real. Like, they was really, like, you could tell specifically, like, no, that was something very, very outrageous to even think about doing to them.
We know that the anus is an outie hole, okay, to poop. All right. So,
but some people love it. Some people, like I've heard of a young lady say specifically years ago that that's something that they particularly enjoy doing. And I was like, why? That's weird.
Our nerves, that's what you mean? That we put in our bodies. That includes males. That's why I don't know why he put those nerves there, because you literally get pleasure from that. And I'm not saying everybody's walking around doing it, but there are nerves in males and females in that area, in the anus area, that can make you climax. So I understand what you're saying, like it's a perversion.
Well, just pray about it.
There.
That's why I said pray about it, because just pray about it. Clearly it needed to be brought up. You know, we needed to talk about it. We did. But I believe masturbation is wrong. And I know it's something that is normal, especially when you're like a kid, you're discovering yourself. But I think that's a real good way for Satan to come in and get you. It's like when you start masturbating, then it's like the first time it feels amazing, and then after that it's just like never enough, never can be as good again, you know? That's kind of how it was for me. And then you get into porn and you're watching porn, and then you're seeing these people do these things, and they're not like, it's not even realistic, you know, or they're all got makeup on and doing all these things, and they're suggesting and giving you ideas of sexual things to do. And also, why are we watching people have sex? You know what I mean? Go ahead, Maylene. Good topic.
Yeah, I had a quick question concerning like what's the word?
Concerning
contraception. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, contraception.
Between
birth control and stuff.
Yeah, but like in marriage, for example, because like we know, well, like you were saying, Yannah, that we are here to be fruitful and to multiply, but you know, like we're in 2026 and like there's a lot going on.
What?
So, sorry. Yeah, and I was just like, I've never been married. I'm not married, but I'm just wondering, like, how it goes down, like, with married people.
Wait. So the question is, how do you have birth control? My thing is,
no, not how.
Wait.
Not necessarily how, but like, is it considered?
Wait, I can't hear. Okay, wait. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, my question is not necessarily like how, but is it something that we're allowed to?
Oh.
Like to have control over the time when we want to have kids or not, or like we just let it happen freely.
I feel like if we have a lot of examples of people having kids before, right? In the scripture, I'm trying to say. So I feel like that is a command. If they use the first 5 books of the Bible as the Torah, right, with our instruction, if he says be fruitful and multiply, he's the one who allows people to get pregnant. He would stop people from getting pregnant. If he didn't want them to get pregnant, or for whatever reason, or somebody was barren or whatever, they would praise him, and then they could have a baby or whatever. So I feel like I would pray about that too. But if he says be fruitful and multiply, if he don't want you to have a baby, he won't let it happen. But then there's people who have like a bajillion kids. So I don't really know. But it sounds like it's a command was to be fruitful and multiply. So personally, and then he got mad at the people who was spilling their seed onto the floor or on the bed or whatever, and wasn't actually, you know. So I don't know. Like, if everything is for Yahuah, like, you know, you could be having kids that's meant to do something great in the kingdom, and then you're trying to stop yourself from having kids or something. If I really don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
I heard if you have a lot of sex during your marriage, you're actually praising Yahuah as well.
I mean, he made sex for marriage.
But then it's like, just like, we're not supposed to have. Well, I don't know, but it's like, are we supposed to have sex for pleasure or more for kids, or, you know?
I think it's you're supposed to enjoy your spouse. Like, there was somebody who was basically saying, like, I could be wrong, but was it Sarah or something? Like, we have to enjoy our spouse. When Yahuah wants to give us a baby, he'll give us a baby, okay? If somebody wants kids, of course most women desire to have kids, okay? So I would definitely say, like, because it's just, he put it in us, okay, to be that way. But, and then he also said there are people who are eunuchs, so let's not forget that part. People who don't want to have sex, people who never, you know, But are we supposed to have sex for kids or for pleasure? I think that pleasure, as I think Yahuah said, is part of it. Like, you love your husband. Yahuah gives you a desire for your husband or your wife. You think they're attractive. You think they're, and that's just part of it. I feel like that's a blessing of the relationship, is the desire for that person, to sexually desire them. But then also, too, I kind of feel like it's a fleshly thing as well. Like, you're spiritually one flesh, right? But when you have sex, when you're praying and fasting, I personally don't feel like I wouldn't feel right if I was in a 3-day fast and I'm having sex with my husband. I don't want to do that. I'm like, I want to be focused on Yahuah. I don't want to be having sex right now. That's just me. I could be overthinking that, but I want to draw nearer to him. I feel like sex is pleasing your flesh, but also honoring what Yahuah wants us to do, which is to, Yahuah loves family. Yashar'al is married to Yahusha, right? It's a marriage. So the devil hates family. The devil wants to rip the family apart. The devil wants everybody to be having sex with everybody, wants nobody to have kids, wants everybody to sacrifice their kids to Moloch, right? Got everybody out here with Planned Parenthood giving their babies to sacrificing to Moloch, okay? So it's a slap in the face, in my opinion. Yahuah, please speak to me. They brainwashed us into thinking that we shouldn't have kids, or we can't afford to have kids. Yahuah can provide for us to have children, and some people struggle to have kids, like, but we can pray, because I have one and I would like to have another, and I haven't had another one yet. But then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's not time yet. Maybe in the perfect time, maybe he got me doing this, and maybe later, or maybe in the land I'll have kids. Maybe some of y'all in the land will, he said we will, though. He said in the land we will multiply. So it's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of when. And in the meantime, he said, if you delight yourself with me, I'll give you the desires of your heart. So as far as, I think I'm rambling, but I'm sorry for rambling, guys. This got me.
No, it's okay. It's very interesting. It's
right?
definitely something like, all of us individually, we need to seek the Father about. Go ahead, sister.
Go, Mom.
This is great.
It's a good conversation, right? So
I have to give Maylene the biggest kudos, because I promise that question right there, or that subject right there, is something that could have gone on underneath her. When she said that, that's why I was like really going off about that, because a lot of us are taught about birth control and that it's responsible. But then when you think about this world, when Maylene said that, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. Like, I've been with more than one man when there were times me and Yannah's father split up. I've never been pregnant by anybody.
It wasn't meant for you to be pregnant by them.
So apparently Yahuah can do exactly what he wants to do when he wants to do it. And the fact that Maylene said that, I think a lot of people needed to hear what she said. A lot of people probably need to hear what she said about birth control, because when you really think about it, it's demonic. And I didn't know that. I don't know. They always tell you it's responsible. Be responsible. First of all, we're not supposed to be having sex before we get married. That's responsible. That's what you should be teaching people. But yes, that birth control is actually a tool of the enemy, and I did not realize that until she said or asked that question.
Y'all notice that they're giving incentives for Gentile or white women to have kids now, but they are constantly telling us to kill our babies. You know what I mean? They're like talking about paying people to have babies.
I hadn't seen that. But you know what? I was gonna say, see, that's the thing. It was all a trick, right? All of these types of things, Our Yahuah is in control of, right? But you got to remember, it was a trick. Like when we was in Egypt the first time, they wanted us not to have kids. What did they do? They increased our yoke. They tried to make us work harder. They tried to keep us so busy that they thought we wouldn't have children. But yet we increased. Yeah. So then they're like, let's. Then they're like, okay, let's start getting rid of the kids. And then they're like, no, we're not going to get rid of all the kids. We fear Yahuah. We don't fear man. Then they want to, okay, let's put them in a basket down the river. Like, all of it, the only way it ever worked was if they got us to do it to ourselves. So that's when they came up with the lie, hey, this is responsible. You guys can't afford this. Here, let's put Planned Parenthood in your neighborhoods. Let's give you all these birth controls. Let's give you contraceptives so you can focus on the pleasure aspect of it and make it all seem normal.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Right? Let's put the drugs here so the drugs can
let's mess
potentially
up your hormones so you can't have kids and mess your body up. Yep.
Exactly. Let's tell you get hysterectomies when you don't need hysterectomies. When you're having babies, let's make you sterile without you knowing you're being sterile. Like, they did all of these things specifically to prevent you from having more and more, and that's the problem. Yahuah is the one who allows everyone to live, to breathe, to have kids. He's in control. And if he wants you to be multiply, he's going to do it. And if you're worried about it, you pray to him and let him handle it. Or you know what? Don't have as much sex with your spouse. Just calm down a little bit. Go, spend more time with him.
You said they be eating the babies, Mom.
Yeah, they be eating them babies. I know they be eating the babies. They be having them aboard.
I saw.
Yeah.
Yep. They be eating babies, and they think it's normal. They think it's okay, and that's probably one of the reasons why they want. Because they're demonic. They're demonic. That's one of the reasons why probably they want people to have abortions and stuff. Vampires too. Yeah. Yep. For the blood.
It taught us a lot. Yes.
They think that the baby's blood, they're virgins, they're new, they think it's like pure and stuff, and they're very sick.
They love that placenta too, Yannah. They love that placenta.
They take everybody's placenta. Yeah.
Yes, children are innocent. Children are pure innocence. And that's why they are so demonic against them. Like, that's why. That innocence, man. But, I think that's, when it comes down to it, like, that's what sex is the easiest way to get people to sin because people enjoy it so much. And like, if this feels good, how can it be wrong? So they'll do whatever and be like okay with it and not even really think about, okay, is the father okay with what you're doing? Right?
How about the inanimate objects that they make?
Exactly.
The sex toys.
Like, they got whole robots and dolls and all types of this weird stuff going on focused on pleasure. And the other thing about it is when they come up with all these contraptions, you increase your insatiability. So now a natural situation won't even help you because you're too freaked out. You're getting too freaked out. Too much stuff going on.
And
that's the problem. Yeah, that's what's wrong with porn. You watch porn, you're seeing things you never should have saw in ways you never should have seen, and it's right at your tip, it's right at your hand. You can see it at any moment, at any time. You're seeing too much, too often, and it's an overload of your senses. It's an overload spiritually. And on top of that, these people may be married. You might start coveting them. You're opening all these spiritual doors. Like, it's all these other things that lead you from one sin to, okay, you thought masturbation wasn't that bad, but now you're fantasizing about this person. You're constantly thinking about, you have your favorite porn star, your favorite OnlyFans person. And now you're paying them for specialized clips. You're doing all these different types of things. Now you're involving yourself in a whole relationship spiritually and financially with this person you don't know. And you're committing adultery, you're coveting sexual immorality, like you're defiling yourselves. You end up doing all these different things because it's a slippery slope that you're in on.
Yep, it's a rabbit hole, a black hole, an endless void.
I think that's once you get to that point, that's when it starts like, oh, I can't get satisfied. I can't feel the pleasure. Let me go try something else. Oh, yeah, there's a dog over there,
Exactly. See, and we'll let Maylene go. Yeah. But let me just say this part too. The other thing that happens is you get from one level of freakiness to another, and when you look at people that have been known to be serial killers and stuff, they all have problems with porn because they went too far.
Child pornography.
Like that. The appetite grew from just looking at this to going further into weird and violence and blood and all this weird stuff. And whatever those spirits or demons that connected to them, it just kept growing and just got completely out of hand.
Dang, this is a good conversation, you guys. Maylene, go ahead.
Yeah, and I just wanted to quickly go back to, well, I think it's you, Yannah, you mentioned 1 Corinthians 7, the verse, better be married than to burn.
Yeah.
And that is, I've been hearing a lot of debates because, well, I think we're, not twisting, but maybe I feel like with this verse, a lot of people are trying to say like
marry anybody? We can
just, marry just to have sex, you know. So we just, and I'm like, no, like
we should
it's
pray
wrong.
for our spouses.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Maylene, because we should pray for our spouses, not get with anybody just to be having sex, just so we can have sex, because you don't want to be in a loveless marriage, and Yahuah is the only one who can keep a marriage alive anyway, because there's many people that get married and get divorced.
So you do need to pray.
What'd you say, Mom?
The enemy is quick to send assassins to us. When we're asking the Father for one thing, the enemy's like, oh, you want that? I got something for you. And it's always, an assassination attempt. So, it's good to pray. I mean, we should be praying for our spouses.
Don't just
You know what? That's also another reason why you have to learn self-control and discipline first, right? Once you get your lust under control, then you'll be better equipped for whoever Abba Yahuah is going to send to you. But if you have your level of lust is so high that you're just willing to look for anybody to marry, then you end up in a situation that you shouldn't be in.
So then you have to ask the Father to get you to remove that lust from you, because we can't do that in our own.
That's what we were saying at the end. We can't. He. That's what I was saying. Like, I'm not trying to condemn nobody, because I know a lot of people watching this, including myself. Like, I used to have a lot of problems with lust. And even, like, I told you a few months ago, like, a guy came to my house and the guy was attractive, and I had these thoughts. I didn't act on the thoughts, but I had these thoughts. But just asking Yahuah to help. Like, I talked to Yahuah about it. I'm like, I'm married. Gross. Like, I don't want to mess up my marriage for some random guy because the guy looks good. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid. Like, But take it to the Father. We gotta take everything to Yahuah. He will help us. Go ahead, Tessa.
Yeah, and with the masturbation thing, you also gotta think about what unlawful thoughts you're having while you're doing this act. What are you focusing on? Yeah, what are you thinking about? And so I wanted to ask you guys another question too. What do you guys think of that verse that says, and your desire shall be to your man, and he shall rule over you? I guess the one I'm needing to ask, if it has anything to do with this topic, what does it mean by, and your desire shall be to your man?
Was that part of the fallen he said it to Eve, right? He said it to Eve.
Right.
So was that because she did what she did and it was like a punishment, right? That's what I thought it was.
Well,
it's a punishment, but what does it mean? Does it mean that, because I know men are visual, so does that mean that, I guess I don't understand. Do y'all understand what that means?
I thought it meant like, go ahead, y'all.
Okay, I think it means where, I've seen some people kind of mention this where they viewed it as the serpent couldn't get to Adam and they was able to get to Eve, and it was because Eve wanted to be like the Most High. So because of that, they switched her desires from trying to be like the Most High to wanting to be with her man. So
that makes sense,
right? And because the man was, when you hear certain people say their man, like some people get idolatrous to their man or having a man. They get a little bit too far into it, right? So I think it was just trying to get them to focus more in on, not being too far on either end of it.
Well, women, it's like women just, it's I don't know if it's a society thing or is this a spiritual thing, because Yahuah probably did this, but like women always feel like from a little kid, like we want to be married or we want to, not a little kid, but like, did y'all feel like that growing up?
Oh yeah, like every man you see attracted to, you're already picking out your wedding dress. You're picking out your wedding dress and what venue you're gonna get married at.
Yeah. Is it societal or is it going off of that scripture that she just said? Because the man rules over us. Men are stronger than us anyway, but they're the head of the household. You know what I mean? So
maybe that does have something to be with it. That, like you said, like when we were younger, or we always want to, we want to have the attention of a man, and we want to get married. Maybe that's what that means. We've always wanted to get married, and
I think that's what it means.
Women are stronger in their legs, and men are stronger in their upper body.
Physically, yeah. But then men are more logical, and I feel like I'm starting to understand that your man is supposed to be over you. You want to have a good man over you. But like the other day, my husband had to save me from a guy who was trying to sell me rats. Hold on, not rats. What was it? He was trying to sell me
rats.
These people come around and try to solicit to you. He said that they found some rats in somebody's attic near my house, and he wanted to do an inspection. So he wasn't trying to sell me rats. He was just trying to probably act like there was rats in my attic. And I was like, he was like, it's a free inspection. And so I'll be like, oh, okay, it's free, okay. But my husband came out, he was like, no, we don't want it, bye. That's how I got solar panels on my house, because the guy came and was like, oh, solar panels. Now we got solar panels. So
well, see, that's why he has us to become one flesh, because we each have different strengths.
Yeah,
we need each other. Men need women, women need men. Like this house, we need each other.
Yeah, and women are better at multitasking, because like when we were buying a house, it's like I was able to do this, and that to get the paperwork done for the house, and he's just like men are just like straightforward, like they don't really think about a lot of different things.
I'll tell you a really good example of us. Women, when they go shopping, y'all like to window shop. You'll go into every store and check out every price and whatnot. Men, when we go shopping, we know exactly what we want. We go right to that store. We get what we want. We leave and come back out. We don't window shop. We don't fool around in different shops looking at different prices and whatnot.
Yeah, go shopping with women as we twerk y'all.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Huh?
What'd you say?
That's why men shouldn't shop with them. I said it's terrible when a woman takes a man shopping. Even my son, I feel sorry for him when he's shopping with me, because I already know my brain is all over the place, and he has that look of like, please stop, So yeah, you're right.
Please stop.
I think it's better because I have no problem saying no. I'm like, no, we're not getting that.
Yeah, I get that. So women do need, like you said, Yahuah, I think Yahuah said this. Women have things that men don't have. Women think different than men, and we need each other. And that's why you become one. You leave your mother and father, and you join together, become one flesh. Y'all complement. We complement each other. So
exactly.
And we are the best cheerleaders we could have, and we are the best counsel if we are women of Yahuah. We are the best counsel we can have. Yeah, when a man needs help and he needs a soundboard.
Yep.
With a good woman, that's like the best counsel. I mean, if she's following Yahuah, if she's Yahuah's, Yahuah's giving her wisdom, you can't get no better than a female supporting you, because she's going to back you.
Yeah, men just want to fix it for you, which is helpful.
Like,
go ahead.
Like when you think about it, when you think about it, like, it's perfect. Like Abba knew everything that he's doing. Like we complement each other perfectly, and when it's ordained by him, we get the other person that we're supposed to have that matches us as one, and we really become one full, entity in Yahuah. Like it's amazing.
And he is the head. Yahusha is the head. So it's a scripture. It says the man is the head of the woman, but Yahusha is the head. And Yahuah is the head of everybody. So
Yahuah, man, woman, and then the children, and everybody.
The children. The woman's the head of the children.
Yeah,
right.
Hierarchy.
And we have to go ahead. Sorry.
With Yannah, that's exactly what you're talking about, because she'll be doing wah 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 wah, and her husband would be like, doing exactly what needs to be done. Like, you'll just see him leave and go do something that needs to be done. And Yannah be like, well. And then her husband will be like, in other words, I know what needs to be done. You go ahead and keep talking. I'll be back. And he'll like, it's just, it works together. They work together like that.
Yeah, we work together. We've been together since we were 25, and we're both the same age. He's 2 months older than me. We're both 30. Well, he's 37 and I'm 36, about to be 37. So it works. So obviously I can be like wah wah wah, and it still works.
Because he knows to ignore you and go do what needs to be done. He just goes and does it. He'll take out of your sentence what he needs to take.
Yeah.
Just like Ezra was saying, like, they know exactly what, and then you'll see he'll be like, he'll cut it off at a point and you'll still be talking, but he got what he needed and he left and did what he needed to do.
But y'all know what? Yahuah's been showing me since I woke up, because he's so cool, right? Yahuah real cool. He's been showing me how to let him lead. I think I told y'all that before, because I used to not let him lead like that. So now, because men are the head of the house, or the head. Spiritually, I'm more in tune with Yahuah, but he listens to me with some things. I kind of would like for him to do more, but I mean, he does do the feasts and stuff with us. But Yahuah had to show me, and with visions and stuff, that I was trying to rule over my husband at one point in time, y'all. So I stopped doing that.
Well, the world makes us like that. The world makes women think that we have to do everything and make us hard. And then men are like, well, what do you need a man for? But I am not a feminist. I'll tell y'all right now, I am not a feminist, okay?
Yeah, I like just fix stuff. Just fix everything.
Part of that's, how they try to switch roles, you know what I mean? Like that's what they try to do. They try to switch roles, and they try to make it just like they try to do with a lot of things. It's separation that they want, right? They want
division. I saw this video and it was saying how they, in the chemicals in the food and stuff, they has men's estrogen up super high since like the 1940s.
Doing that for decades, and it's sad because it ruins their bodies. It ruins their bodies. And also what Yahuah was saying, or Tesla was saying, I think that they have the agenda they had on black males. That is why women wound up being the way we are. I've had men say, how come you don't let somebody take the trash out? Because I've been around men that wouldn't do jack squat. So
that's true.
It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, the more you live, the more you learn, and you realize that agenda on black males was to, what is it? Emasculate them?
Emasculate.
Right. And so you get around males who are confused, who didn't have their father or had a father that was teaching them wrong because of whatever happened to their father. Yeah. And so we messed up our whole dynamic. We've been messed up.
Yeah, our family dynamic. And the same thing with like food stamps and stuff. I heard that if you have a man in the house, they won't give you food stamps. They won't give you certain things. So then they don't even want the man in the house.
Right. They wanted to replace the male figure with the government and with the church. That's what happened. Yikes. So the government's your man, the church is whoever was at there was your man. That's what happened. And then all the men, started running after the wrong things. And then when a lot of them got
murder y'all, that's what that was.
And get them in prison systems where you got free labor, and a lot of people started engaging in other activities with men while they were in prison and came out and still did it. So all these other things just kind of, it was a very sinister and insidious plan that worked way too well.
Yeah, because they only did it with the black families because you see white women on food stamps and they got men in the house. So they only did it with the black families because they knew if black people stood together, we would do stuff. If the family was together, we would do stuff, So they only did it to the black families, which is just crazy.
Our family dynamic was always strong. It was very strong.
Yes.
We were very connected. As a community, we were very connected. We helped each other. It was beautiful. And they did everything in their power to try to ruin that. But it's coming back now. It's coming back to where it's supposed to be.
We can see Yahuah making us join together, because they was always trying to tear us apart and make us be like, oh, I'm the only black person, like, you the only black person at the job. Like, they wanted us to fight against each other. So he's having us come together, for us even to have this group here, these groups that we have, because there's a bunch of groups like this, right, online and stuff, right? Maybe some physically too, but this is only by the power of Yahuah that we can come together like this. So,
can you give
because we were that byword
to Brother Andel as to what we've been talking about?
Sure. Andel, we were talking about sexual immorality today, and how did we get here, guys? Then we were talking about the family structure. We were talking about how Yahuah said, be fruitful and multiply, and what is sodomy, and a whole lot of stuff. It's such a good conversation. Ezra, you can tell if you got a better explanation.
Sounds really good. Sorry I missed it.
Very good. But we were just talking about how they we were talking about like food, like the support, like food stamps and stuff in the United States. They will tell you that you can't like have any government assistance if you got a man in the house, so they can take the man out the house. Then we were talking about how they had Planned Parenthood and have people having abortions because they don't want, our people having kids and stuff, all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Well, it's definitely coming back on them. It's definitely coming back on them because, like we were saying earlier, how Trump he was basically trying to pay these, white women to have kids, and it's like you only want to pay them that much with things as high as it is. White women are not going out having kids like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard they got low birth rates. As I heard, I don't know.
Yeah, yep, all over too, not just the U.S.
Yep.
That reminded me. That's another thing
over in China
too.
China and in some other countries over in the east, where they're wanting black men to come over there and pay them to
I heard Belize is one of them countries too. It's interesting. You're seeing this at a lot of places where a lot of these other nations' birth rates are not where they want them to be, to the point where they're even asking other nations to come and have kids with them. It's wild.
Yeah, they might not exist after a while. You never know. Die out. Who knows? But Yahuah, just like the days, like you were talking about in Egypt, how our people Yahuah made it so we just kept multiplying and multiplying. It was just so many of us. They can try, but our people keep having kids anyway. But they have been making it so they tell us that, it's too expensive to have kids, so you might as well. We were talking about how sex is between marriage too. It was made for marriage, so that's something else we were talking about. But it's a lot. It's a lot that's been going on against us. We've been in a spiritual battle our entire lives and probably didn't even know it until Yahuah woke us up. For real. Like literally since before we were born. Well, we've been in a spiritual battle this entire time. But the stuff that they do, like that scripture where it talks about sacrificing your babies to Moloch, like all I can think of is abortions. Like that's literally what an abortion is.
Have you seen those videos about them burning Moloch in which country was it? I can't remember which country it was, but they had some videos up recently about like burning the statue of Moloch over there.
That's
I
good.
saw it.
I didn't see that. Share that, please. That's great.
And it had the American flag and then the Israel flag next to it. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's good they're doing that because it needs to. All their idols will be burned down either way. Will be taken down. Isn't that a scripture? He gonna tear down all their idols anyway.
So, yeah, all their idols is gone. Like they got them all over the place. They ain't gonna be there no more. Just like when they when they had the Ark of the Covenant over there next to their little statues, and next thing you know, statue on the ground, the head of the statue been cut off, and now they freaking out and want to get rid of the Ark. Shouldn't have had it in the first place.
Yeah, we got one Creator. His name is Yahuah. One Creator. So, pick a side.
I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying earlier about in Exodus. That when I read that, that was just amazing. When it says how the more afflicted we were, the more we multiply. and like throughout the years how they tried to basically cause us to be extinct with all the experiments and everything they've done on us and with our kids and stuff. And to this day, we are still multiplying.
Yep. Y'all ever see that interview with the guy who was that the Sefer guy? He said somebody was trying or they were trying, or they did Planned Parenthood so that they can extinguish the kingdom of Judah.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking
I
about?
saw it.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That was the whole purpose. But the thing that what they learned from that is every time they tried to do it, they got a response from Yahuah. Anytime they tried, they try to hide that part. As soon as they decided to take it in their own hands, he immediately responded because they are not allowed to do that. They're only allowed to do so much, which is why they switched their tactics to try to get us to do it to ourselves.
Exactly. My cat is trying to get in.
Rochelle, are you still there? Rochelle?
Come on, Mira.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only see your number. I don't see your name anymore.
Really? I'm right here.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a really good conversation, guys. If anybody else got anything else, I think that conversation got me hyped because I learned a lot this week about it too. That it's about marriage. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's about marriage. Sex was made for marriage. So, well, shut up then. So, it stinks.
The thing about the masturbation really got me because, you don't even think about that because you're thinking, well, I'm not harming anybody, but you don't. But like you said, it's idolatry, which makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, and I think I was a little nervous to even do this one because of that. Because a lot of people think that masturbation is normal. It's just something you do when you're a teenager and you're discovering yourself. That's how they say it. It's like how you're discovering yourself.
I've even heard them try to claim it's healthy for you.
Yes, I've heard that too.
Right, but that's just the psychological warfare that they played. It's just these mind games to try to get you comfortable with doing things that you would have never even really thought about doing before. But they just try to make, like every TV show, cartoons, they got even children's books and all types of stuff about these types of things. Like it's just, it's just a thing to do. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, bro, no. Yep. Y'all corrupting people. Stop corrupting people. Like, tell them the truth.
Exactly. But that's why we grow up and we think it's normal because they've trained us to think it's normal. You have sex education classes. Like my son told me that they showed a video in the sex ed. I was like, they were showing y'all porn in class? Like, he homeschooled now, but I'm like, what? You showing kids porn?
Wow.
Yes, that's porn. I feel like that's porn, guys. So,
it basically is. And when you think about it, they make it so wild. Like TV shows, they just got to have a sex scene. Why? You don't have to do that.
Exactly.
We don't need to see nobody half naked or naked on screens for no TVs, no cartoons, no video games. Like, it's pointless. You don't. At most, you could allude to them.
I'm comfortable seeing a sex scene with my dad at one point watching a show.
Awkward. Skip past it. Yeah, it's sex is everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's always like my husband was watching this show last night. I don't know what the show called, but I can't remember. But the guy had sex with this one lady, and then they broke up, and in the next episode he was having sex with another lady, and I'm like, and then they make it like they're knocking stuff over in the house, and it's like no one even has sex like that. Like, who's paying for the stuff? They're knocking things over. Like, no one's paying. You know what I mean? Like, you're breaking furniture every single time you have sex. You're breaking furniture.
You got to replace this furniture.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the heck is wrong with y'all? So people think my sex life sucks because we're not breaking furniture. I don't want to break furniture because then you got to pay for the stuff. That's all we have for you guys. Let me know your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to join our WhatsApp community, please email me at Yashar'al@gmail.com. Thank you for all your support. Have an amazing, blessed day. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. So be it. Shalom, guys.